Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Very nice to meet you. My name is Jason
Nice to meet you. My name is Prakash.
Prakash. A pleasure, Prakash.
Yeah.
Where are you calling from, Prakash?
I'm from India.
From India. Fantastic. Fantastic. Wonderful. My background is I'm Canadian. I currently live in the Philippines. I married somebody here. I'm a retired civil engineer. But for here and now, I'm here to help you with your English in any way that I possibly can.
Yeah. I have seen your profile and I'm quite impressed with your profile. It
Oh,
was quite different than others because you were playing with your pet dog and background was different. And you're a retired person. That's more interesting. You are enjoying your life in Philippines.
yeah. I get a lot of people that actually call me just because of that. And I honestly, um, there's all sorts of reasons why I'm doing this. It's mainly because we're very restrictive on lockdowns here in the Philippines. So I was bored. It's not about money for me. I really enjoy doing this. But anyways, when I started it, they just told me you got to have a video, and I was like, I kept on delaying it, and they said you got to put a video up. So I just grabbed my wife and I said, let's just shoot a quick thing. But I looked at everybody else's videos, and no offense to other tutors, but they were very dour and like, I will teach you the ways of the world, speak. And I just thought that's not necessarily who I am, and I don't. I'm not a linguist. I'm an engineer, and I don't want to pretend that I'm something I'm not. And um, anyways, and so I just wanted to be very forthright, and that is kind of who I am. I mean, pretty relaxed individual. I do take this seriously, and I have researched. As an engineer, I like to think I'm a problem solver, and I do. It is our responsibility to look into it. So I've looked into linguistics, and I've developed some techniques. But yeah, I'm just. You're right. I get, and I get a lot of people that call just one of my dog. They're like, "Who's your dog? Why I want to see your dog?" And it's just like I have two dogs
Hmm.
actually, but yeah, I'm pretty relaxed here. It's a pretty easy life, and I'm very blessed for myself. So I feel
I
lucky.
get I can see on your face, and I also want this type of smile and satisfaction on my face at this age.
Well, there's work involved and stuff, but you can structure your life to have such a thing.
Yeah,
And the key, my success or my happiness comes from family. Professionally, I'm happy with my career and where it's gone, but family is what drives me and motivates me and makes me want to achieve. And I've been blessed, and I just want to. Cambly is to help people learn English. It's not, you're not changing the world, but I greatly enjoy this because it is ability to meet people, talk with them, find out about their lives, and hopefully as well, the conversation does improve
yeah.
the English.
I also enjoy because I'm a teacher here. I teach in a secondary school, and
Ah,
yeah, I'm responsible for teaching languages in my school. So
really?
in order to brush up my English and to show these videos to my students, how we
Hmm.
can have a conversation with native English speakers and how they live their life.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
definitely it helps me a lot. That's why I arrange and I have subscribed Cambly.
Yeah, I didn't, and I'll be honest, I didn't know Cambly before I started, which was about 4 or 5 months ago now. And I just, wasn't part of my world. And one of the blessings, but also one of the curses of speaking English as a natural language. I mean, Canadian, I'm native English speaker, is you get lazy because when you travel, you can travel with English, whether it's India, yeah, other countries in the world. Just pick a country. Now, there are countries that not everybody speaks English, but more than likely you're going to find somebody eventually that speaks English, right? Especially if you're in an area what you call like a tourist area or something like that, you will find that. Like, and because I mean, I've worked and traveled from Russia to Japan to Korea to Singapore to Mexico. You know, you will find somebody that speaks English, and so you get lazy. Like, why should I? So now I speak French as well, but most people, most native born English speakers, they just speak English, and I think it's a blessing for people, as hopefully your students, to have the ability to speak their languages and
Mm,
also another.
yeah.
And then why limit yourself to one? I mean, just other, like, when you're young, learn as many languages as you can, because
Mm,
there will never be in your time in your life you say, boy, it's a bad thing that I can speak this language.
yeah.
Even if you don't use it, there will never be a time when you're like, I mean, I don't care if it's English, Ukrainian, Japanese, or Spanish. If you can speak languages, it's such a benefit. Something will always come up. So,
Yeah, definitely. So, how I motivate my students to learn English language. So, while showing these videos in my classroom, I
mhm,
just say that life is beautiful.
it is.
So, but how can you enjoy the life? So, when you meet more people, and the whole world is one village, and uh, with the help of internet, we can see, we can meet different people, we can know the different cultures. Then you can enjoy your life. And
Technology.
English is a link language, international language. So with the help of this language, you can meet new people.
It is. And I mean, I don't say that as, I never like when I hear people say that English is somehow superior or better. It's just a language. It works, but
Yeah, yeah,
there's nothing superior, but it's just one of those things when it becomes a common, because we search for the common, what brings us
yeah,
together. And if
yeah.
we can communicate, that allows us to share ideas and thoughts. And that's the beginning of friendship, and hopefully,
Mm,
and well, pardon me, the beginning of awareness and understanding, and hopefully friendship. But you need that communication. And so if you have that in English, I mean, it's just because there's a practical matter to language. I say this because I recently discovered practice. I didn't realize India has 26 official languages, or
yeah,
is it
yes,
26?
definitely. Yeah,
And you'll have to forgive me, because there are, Vinny, Canada is a country of immigrants, and we're very welcoming and opening to immigrants. And so we have, substantial, Indian Canadian population. And most people I was aware of, I always thought they spoke Hindi. So I thought Hindi was the common language. Now I've since discovered that Hindi is, in certain areas, it is the language. And then maybe in some of the government areas, it's the language. And so people might assume that it is. But it is by no means the unifying language of India. Because I've talked to many, no, I don't speak Hindi. Why would I speak Hindi? I have other students from India, and they do not speak Hindi at all. And I was made aware of this, and I did not know, because, like I said, I assumed, like a lot of people, just based on my information, that Hindi was the common language. And I realize now it's not. Not that, I mean, Hindi is a wonderful language, but I just mean it's not the language of India, not of all of India, which I did not know. I did not know this.
yeah. Okay. So I want to know something about you, because many people, you have just told me many people want to go to Canada, and
Mhm.
you have moved to Philippines.
Well, usually when a man does something, let's just say unusual, or like out of step, there's a woman involved. And that's not a bad thing. It's usually a good thing. The world works best when men do their best to impress women, because then you get the best out of us and out of men. And that's the case. I was in the Philippines about, I guess, 6 years ago, and I'm a civil engineer. So there was a project to build some condominiums in Manila, that is the capital of the Philippines. And it was was a joint project between a Canadian and a Philippine company, and I was in charge of the Canadian side of it. And while I was here, because I was here for about 8 months, I met a young lady. We fell in love, son, and we're married, and I'm married. So that is the reason why I'm in the Philippines. If I was not married to a
Mm,
Filipina, I would not be here. Though it is a wonderful country and I love it, but I live in Vancouver. It's a beautiful, beautiful city, and I love it. And ultimately, my plan is to go spend 6 months in Canada in the summer, and then winter, when it starts to get a little bit cold, then come to the Philippines. Now, coronavirus has kind of taken all my plans and crumpled them up, just like
yeah,
everybody else. Like, coronavirus has been a big problem. I mean, it's affected everybody, some people very seriously. So I don't want to make light of it, but it's just messed up a lot of people's plans. And ultimately, that is my goal, though. I want to spend time in Canada, and I do want to spend time here because this is my wife's country, and she's from here, and her family is here, and I get along with them quite well. She has an amazing family, but yes, I'm not one of these. I get asked this, and I think there is an element of some. They call them expatriate. If you leave your country, there's an element of resentment, like you're angry at your country. No, no, no. I love my country, and it's not that. I just came because I fell in love with somebody, so as a personal choice. But I didn't sell my house. I still have a house in Vancouver. I'm not doing that. We bought a house here, but I'm not giving up on Canada or anything like that. But it's just the practice as a man. When we do something, it's usually a woman that truly motivates us to change our lives and do things, and hopefully for the better.
Oh, that's great. So you are Canadian and your wife is Philippine, so you have to manage with you live two cultures every day. You live
Yeah,
twice.
yeah, somewhat. Though you said it yourself, there is this sort of with the internet, with information, people are so much more aware of things than they used to be. Like
Mm,
I'm old. I'm 50, Prakash, and so I remember before the internet. I don't know if you self can, but I remember when there was no internet. I mean, I remember when there was, everybody was rolling around with one of these, right? Like I remember that, and the world was much different then, right?
mm,
People were not aware. Now, people watch YouTube videos. They have an idea of your culture. Like I get that all the time.
yeah.
Like for instance, we're just about 10 days or 12 days past what we call Halloween, which is October 31st. And in Canada and the United States, we celebrate Halloween, and it's a fun thing for kids. They dress. You've probably seen on TV shows, right? They dress up in
Mm,
costumes like Spider-Man, and they go trick or treating, right?
yeah.
And I got people all the time asking me, "It's like, are you going to go trick or treating? Can we trick or treat your house?" And I had some of the local kids dress up and come to my house just because they knew I'm a foreigner and they know about Halloween. Now they also know they're going to get some candy and stuff. But what I'm saying is people are much more aware of cultures than you might think. So it's a lot easier now. And but you are right. The first thing I always say when I'm a guest in this country, I'm very respectful of the way things are done here. And and yes, as much as I love this country, there is a difference. Canada is a first world country and the Philippines is not. And so
Mm,
there are things in Canada that just work, and in the Philippines, there's things here that just make you very frustrated. And
mm,
but having said that, that doesn't change the fact that it's a wonderful country, and you have to remember that you're a guest, and you have to respect those differences, right? You just have to. You just have
yeah.
to. And usually there's a reason, and you discover, well, why do you do these things? And they're like, well, we do this because of this, and because of this, and it's a learning experience. You get to
Yeah.
discover more about people, and it also helps when you're in love with somebody because then you're also motivated to take the time
Yeah.
and attention to learn about this, and not just sort of superficially go on a Wikipedia page and read about it.
Mm,
But when it's
yeah.
personal, then you actually take the time to learn and understand people.
Yeah. So a few years back, I read one book, Two States, and in India, every state's a different culture.
Mm. Hmm.
So so the North Indian boy fell in love with South Indian girl. Both have
Hmm.
quite different culture, and they both
Mm.
face some problems to get married,
Sure.
and that's why that's very interesting. And movie also, someone made the movie based on this, the true story, based on this book, and it was awesome. And then why this movie is more interesting because they both are facing the culture problem.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Adversity.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes the best story. The best stories are about overcoming.
Mm,
I mean, there's always a challenge, but the best stories are about those when you overcome them.
yeah.
You know.
So the boy goes to South India to stay in the girl city,
Hmm.
and parents are quite different. They are silent. They are more organized and more cultured. And North Indian boy is little bit aggressive, more talkative. So the difference is that the boy wants to speak more and more. Okay, we are
Well,
running out of time.
well, Prakash, I want to say thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Yes,
And
thank
please
you.
call me anytime. I would absolutely love to talk more with you. and have a wonderful day ahead, and to your students as well.